specific behavioral changes that you want to make with the customers? What are the behaviors you're trying to reinforce that will lead to the creation of that value that they're going to feel? If you don't define where you're trying to go, you're never going to get there. So if you can define out these metrics and these behaviors that you're trying to incentivize and track, then you can define what are the things that we're going to do in order to create that. So I think it's a good way of just breaking this down, and it can be very overwhelming, but say, okay, if I break it down into pieces, I'm not going to implement it all at once, but I'm going to start. And then as soon as you start, then the mountains, you start to build and you start to climb that mountain. What I want to do is I want to ask, we've talked about a lot. What haven't we talked about the importance of CX and 2Xing your business and the branded journeys? And what haven't we talked about that you want to make sure we make clear?
I've got one thing, and I actually think I have mentioned it just once, but that's AI. This has maybe been the most AI-free podcast that there's been this year because it's like so all-encompassing. And we haven't talked a lot about that. I'm a big believer that you mentioned earlier. I'm a statistician, so I've been doing kind of AI and predictive analytics for many years. The new wave of AI really is astoundingly more advanced in the way it deals with language and complex, unstructured data. And I think there's a real power coming from that in this area of helping with the data challenge. That every organization's got lots of systems. They got their own systems, service providers' systems. Each channel has a different system. Each system has data in it. And that's part of the challenge. It's messy, it's dirty, there's gaps. AI is really going to solve that. And in particular, agentic AI, where these agents will be able to go out and they'll understand the data structures and be able to match them up between those different systems. That technology is going to drastically change the way companies can actually use data on the customer, because this new wave of AI is going to make it so much simpler to get a clean view of all of your customer data and understand the behaviors of all the customers across those different channels. So that's probably the one thing that I feel like we hadn't spent much time on, perhaps deliberately, but worth adding in that AI really is good. I'm not a believer in the whole AI is going to remove the CX industry from a existence and professional at all. One of our big things is this is a human thing as well as a technology thing. People are always going to be in the link. The real human connection is going to be there in every business, but AI is going to help as well. It's really going to help.